jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game, 8 Side Official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know. WCS the first in the building. What's good? I wanted to drop by, man, and finally speak on the results since they have now been released. It's official. You know what I'm saying? Let's go through this process of Ryan Garcia suspension. His punishment has been rendered. It is now official. So let's go and speak on it. All right, we're gonna go to boxing scene for this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give Boxing News 24 a rest because it'd be extremely biased, getting on my nerve. So as you're looking at this, this is boxingscene.com. Ryan Garcia suspended 1 year by New York State Athletic Commission, faces further penalties. It says Ryan Garcia is being suspended for 1 year and forced to return his guaranteed purse money. And his April 20th victory over Devin Haney has been changed to a no contest. The 25-year-old Garcia, 24-1, addition was fined $10,000. And Garcia submitted 2 positive tests for banned substance enhancing substance osirine on the day of the bout and the one the day before. The B sample also came back positive, while Garcia steadfastly maintained he did not knowingly ingest any pads. WBC 140-pound title holder Haney has disputed that notion, recounting that he can't recall even being hit as fiercely as he was with Garcia in the bout, the Barclays Center. No comment on that for now. Garcia rocked Haney with 2 left hooks in the right in the first round and proceeded to produce 3 more knockdowns. Okay, I'm gonna go forward. Garcia's suspension is dated to April 20th. So you're talking about April 20th, May 20th, June 20th. June 20th as of the day. That's 2 months he served already, and he currently has 10 months remaining. All right. Um, and it's considered an indefinite suspension because he will be assigned to be subject to random drug testing by World Anti-Doping Agency accredited lab in Salt Lake City throughout his suspension period. The $10,000 fine is owed to the New York State Athletic Commission, and $1.2 million in guaranteed purse must be returned to Garcia's promoter, Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions. It is believed Haney will receive an undisclosed percentage of that money. Reached Thursday, Haney's conditioning advisor and infamous. Okay, I really don't want to read anything about Victor Conte because he really don't have anything to do with this. You know what I'm saying? Garcia is not a snack athlete, but it said nobody seems to know the answer, but it's a very important question. It seems to me if you're going to jump through the hoops and hurdles of testing, you don't deserve the license. The most important part of this is that he has to do random testing. So pretty much what this is talking about is Ryan Garcia retiring from the sport means he's not going to be tested during his suspension. It's going to come a point in time where once he returned back to the sport to get his license, he's going to be subject to testing. So in case anybody wants to know how that whole circumventing and advantaging the loopholes, yes, fighters usually, retire. If you retire from the sport, of course, you're not going to be tested. So that's what they was talking about. Ryan Garcia would be tested during his suspension. That's if he's holding an active license. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean he's going to be taking pads during his 1-year suspension. All it does is relieve him of random drug testing during his year suspension. In a post on Garcia X account on Thursday, he repeated his retirement threat. I really hope boxing's good without me. I thought everyone is willing to. They have turned their back on me. I'm innocent. I stand by that. I don't care what everyone says. Gun to my head, I say I didn't take pads. Okay. Minutes later, he added the post that read, boxing is dead and I'm going to expose the whole game. Say cheese, boxing messing with the wrong one. Haney said, let's see. Again, on X, Haney indicated that he was going to take a break himself. I'll be back in the 1 year. I had all the belts already. From now, I'm fighting whatever weight I choose. Haney also vented on social media Garcia will be deprived of all his earnings from April 20th. Garcia's legal team maintained his claim that he was a victim of substance contamination, adding that taking banned substance is simply not in his nature. For many, Ryan has voluntarily submitted to random testing, even during out of competition periods, and has never had any issue. The legal team said in a statement, Ryan will continue to elevate the sport and will be actively involved in advocating for reform. We hope future changes in our system will address issues like this. We want to thank all of our fans who have continued to support Ryan, not only during the great moments, but also through the difficult times that life brings. He will be back in the ring soon and better than ever. Let me first start with Devin. Salute and congrats to Devin Haney for getting justice, right? Like I said before, he did everything he was supposed to do in this particular matter as far as making weight and doing what a champion is supposed to do, fight for the belt. It got to a point where on fight night, all he was doing is basically fighting for the win. Regardless of, how it played out, he lost, he still maintains his title. Even the better part of it is that now this is over. we know what the punishment is. I told you know who you are. I told you it wasn't going to end the way you think. You know, all this 2 year and all this stuff. And please make sure you have my money. Fresh bills, of course. I told you it wasn't going to be no freaking over a year or even 2 years. But you can't tell people anything. Devin is going to benefit from receiving a portion of the funds that's going to be forfeited back to the promotion. I don't know what that is. I don't really get into the money aspect. My whole deal is you know, from what the commission came back with, that's just the, you know, what it is for boxing. They did what they supposed to do. They did the investigation, and per their findings and what they came up with, he's suspended for 1 year, Ryan. You know what I'm saying? If they believe he took it, he should be suspended. Ryan is, you know, he's let me finish up with Devin. What I don't understand after hearing this news, I don't understand, you know, why you're gonna take a year off or 2 years or whatever, take time off while Ryan's out the sport. If you know you came out on top of all of this, you definitely, if you're gonna, you know, get back in the ring, it'll be good by the time Ryan comes back. You go up there and beat Mario Barrios, you can have a title, and then you can have a big fight with freaking Ryan Garcia. I think you need to have a bigger fight. If you have another belt at 147 and Ryan Garcia comes off suspension, I think it'll still be a good payday for you. But, you know, the evidence was there, A and B sample. And, you know, Ryan say it was contaminated, but the people the powers that be deemed it that he popped positive, and he has to serve this suspension. You know what I'm saying? He has to serve that suspension. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know why some of you are faking like you extremely, you know, happy about this. It's not like it's the first suspension. It's not like this ain't something we never experienced before. Some of you are just taking this, you know, all the way through the extreme as if you was rocking hard with Devin Haney to begin with. A lot of you wasn't even rocking hard, man. A lot of you wanted to see Devin freaking lose because of Bill. Now you done went through the emotional freaking roller coaster ride. Now you might be legitimate fans of Haney. I don't know. But I know a lot of you was mad. Those of you that's out there that was mad at his pops, you was wishing that the man lost by all means necessary, by any means necessary. But now all of a sudden, we go through the aftermath of those who claim to be happy that Devin's record is back to an O, which salute to Devin for that. You get the O back, the right thing. That's the right decision to make. He gets the O back, and the fight is ruled a no contest. Now, I don't know why I'm hearing grown adults saying people are mad. Why are we mad that Devin's record is changed back to what is deserving of the punishment? If you're going to suspend somebody and that is to deem them guilty, then of course the fight should be a no contest. But you all are the ones that's really mad. You want to bring in racism and all that. It was deemed a no contest. But y'all mad because they don't give him the win. You got to blame boxing for that. Seriously, you have to blame boxing for not being able to have the people in place. You're not having a governing body, not being regulated, not having a president, not having a controlling authority, a proven authority to make decisions like that and hand down that punishment. You got to blame boxing for that. But some of you are still unhappy because you wanted it to be a win, but you're acting like, oh, I'm going to go out here and once again, instead of talking about Devin's win and to big him up and say, okay, what's next and all that, y'all pretty much talking about who's mad at the situation. I don't care who's mad at what. They're going to have to deal with that. Ryan is going to have to deal with his actions. He's going to have to deal with that shit. Real talk. He was able to go this far Go in there with the second, probably one of the second biggest fight of his career. Test positive. He said it was contamination. He's gonna expose everything. But hey, at the end of the day, you got what you want. Whether that placated your emotions or not, I don't see it. I see some of you all up here still bitching and complaining when you're supposed to be celebrating. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney record is back to a O. He has his unblemished record. But what etched in people's mind is how the fight played out. So no matter what you say, I mean, if y'all gonna get on here, remember, talk and big up the fighter that you're supporting. Why are y'all busy up here acting like you trying to go at Ryan Garcia fans when you don't know who they are? I don't know who the Garcia fans is. I don't know who the Haney fans are. But at the end of the day, Garcia is suspended for a year, and he has to pay a fine and forfeiture some of his freaking pay, his guarantee money. So at the end of the day, if Team Haney is getting a percentage of that forfeiture, they're coming out on top with that too. Plus what they was paid, from Ryan being overweight. What more is it? If that doesn't make you happy as far as justice being served, then you proving my point. You're not satisfied. You're proving my point. If you're still whining and complaining, you're proving my point that you ain't satisfied. That means you want something more. And you can't be mad at Team Garcia. You got to be mad at boxing, the system. That's all. People are going to keep buzzing about this for the next 48 hours, and then it's going to disappear. You know what I'm saying? And Ryan is going to go up here and start rubbing it in y'all face. He's going to start posting some things he's doing on the other side, and then it's going to be right back to where it was before, as if the testing results haven't came back with the punishment. People are going to be like, how is he doing? I mean, he's not on probation. He's not on house arrest. I'm not trying to act like I'm jettisoning the severity. I'm just overlooking the severity of this. I'm not. I just cover boxing enough to see worse. It don't matter who is against. I've seen worse in the sport of boxing. This is like, it is what it is. It's a positive test. I don't know why motherfuckers losing their mind, all because they want all this this vocal support for a fighter popping dirty. I don't see it. I mean, like, it's another fighter. It's not gonna be the last fighter, but it's another fighter that popped dirty. When Alberto Puello popped dirty last year, I didn't hear none of y'all talking about anything. None of that. I didn't hear none of this outcry. He tested positive for metabolites M1, M2, and clomiphene. Nothing. But this fight play out, all of a sudden, you got fair weather Haney fans trying to act like they support him. Man, get out of here. I'm happy Team Haney was able to get justice. Even though, some of the stuff was over the top, he did everything he was supposed to do as a champion. For Ryan Garcia, he has to serve his suspension, and that's that. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I'm not going to get a headache over this. This is small to me when it comes to when Jarrell Miller popped with Anthony Joshua. It wasn't no outcry like this. It wasn't no outcry. This man has came back to boxing. Ryan is going to come back to boxing. I mean, what do y'all want to know? He ain't the first person to retire from the sport while he's suspended, so it relieves him from drugs. I mean, it's always loopholes and shit when it comes to boxing. Shout out to Miguel, cheater down. He got straight to the point. Cheater down. That's hilarious, man. Cheater down. Cheater down. Did you hear me? I said cheater down. Cheater down. Sound like a goddamn some country bumpkins would be out there when they rustling cattle. Cheat her down, goddammit, cheat her down. What's going on, Big Blunts of boxing in the building? Salute. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 1 year is fair. I want some money. You know, I had a person telling me it's gonna be over a year. I said it's not gonna be over a year, man. Pay attention to the history of boxing when it comes to these freaking these cheating these actions. It's not gonna be what you think. Mike on deck, what's good? Yeah, I want the rematch. I want the rematch. But you know what? We may never get the rematch. Um, Shout out to the OG Bruce Gas, Boxing Jackson Moore. Salute, bro. Devin retains his O, but he needs a rematch to chase the ghost away. Well said. Well said. And see, that those individuals I was talking to earlier, you need to read that comment right there. You need to read it. Now you understand. I'm not the only one that was feeling this way. That's my whole point. The steel frame that they have, the visual that they have, humans are not going to forget that. Yeah, they'll look at Ryan. Yeah, he tested positive. He was suspended. But then inside they say, well, can he really beat Ryan? Can he really beat him? Yeah, he needs to get the rematch to erase the ghost. Because those ghosts, you're going to be thinking about what people saying. And then these boxers are taking these L's, right? And then they don't want the media to come around and ask them about the L. They don't want to talk about that. Why? It's on your box rec. I mean, they remove Errol Spence and Crawford, but they ain't going to remove freaking Haney Garcia. I mean, you got to remove the ghost, man. You got to come back and make that bag. That's all I'm saying. Come back and make the bag. That's how you get past this. The punishment that was levied, it was warranted. It was justified. It was justified. It's up to the commission. People act like they taking this personal and like, you know what I'm saying, somehow, some way they lost money. If you lost money, if somehow you lost money or whatever the case, and you that involved in this match, some of that forfeiture should be coming your way. But I can almost guarantee you it's not. It's not coming your way. They never satisfied like my mama when doves cry. For real, right? Shout out to one in the building. Just like my mother, truthful. Well, now Diddy can take a year off and relax. I think Ryan, the only fighter he got now. Somebody said Frank has fired Derrick James. I don't know how true that is, but if so, Ryan is all Derrick got now. Derrick may say that Ryan is the last fighter, but I think he's still. I believe now. Don't quote me on this, but you know what I'm saying? Called shadow boxing, and he might be doing some mix with the shadows. So the shadows can goddamn blend in with the host when he comes back off suspension. That's how you circumvent that. That's how you jump ahead of the game and be proactive. I mean, I'm pretty sure Devin has to be, DJ, Diddy, he has to be in there training someone. It may not be long term, but his gym, I don't think is empty. But then again, he said he don't have chairs in there because people don't, he doesn't have that gym. He doesn't give me the vibe that he has a gym where you can come train at. You talking about he don't have no chairs in there. You might not just can come up to world class and just train. I don't think so. Shout out to Breakdown on deck. Salute. Andre on deck. Devin turning down his mandatory fight, which is great rebound fight. is not going to help all the backlash he's been getting for his loss. He's going to have to find a way to return for that rematch. Like Bruce say, return for the rematch. It'll be good to get back and erase all the doubts you may have, the ghost moments that you reflecting upon in that fight. Like, Devin was the one that was in there with Garcia. So he remembers everything that went on, with the punches that landed, the knockdown, the crowd noise, the instructions that his corner was given, how his face felt from all the damage. He has to go through that and erase that. And the only way you're going to really erase it is redeeming yourself. Go in there and redeem yourself and let the people know that, hey, he's not going to be the same fight if he goes through strenuous drug testing. You know what I'm saying? So if he goes in here and beat Ryan Garcia, that makes good for a trilogy. That makes good for a trilogy. Even though it's a no contest, they still going to say Ryan won the fight, right? So that'll make good for a rematch. Devin goes in there and beat him a second time, then you get a third paycheck. That's how that should work. But I'm not, I'm not putting out suggestions for a team that should know that already. If you're gonna make your highest payday, that may be the reason why Devin is taking a year off for whatever planning they might have. Who knows? Who knows, bro? Who knows? You're just gonna take a year. I don't see how that benefits him. Like I done seen fighters get beat up, knocked out, and they don't take a year. They don't take a year, especially when you need to make money. But I guess, when you make that Garcia money, you can take a year off. Real talk. You making that Garcia paycheck, I guess you can take a year off. Shout out to Andrew Charles in the building. Shout out to the queen on deck, Jessica. Blunt say, Andrew, Bob says he'll be willing to make the T.O. and Devin fight if Devin drops that belt or something like that. So he's got an option right there, which pay more than that Mando. But they're going to have to get that Mando freaking step aside. That's a fact. They're going to have to come up with that. They're going to have to come up with that. Real talk. Just like, from what I understand with Canelo and William Skull, they haven't agreed on a fight purse. From what I understand, they have agreed to step aside money. You know what I'm saying? People are getting confused and saying that they agreed to fight. They have came up with a price, but from what my understanding is, and what I'm getting from it is that it's dealing with a step aside. How much you get paid step aside. 7 figures for a rebound is pretty effing good. I don't think Haney is ready for any top player in the game right now. Martin might be him. Well, we'll have to see. I definitely don't. I'm not going in here and say, well, I hope Martin. I don't hope none of that. I mean, I can care less for the fight myself. I can care less for the fight. Now, what Bob Aaron was talking about, making T.O. and Devin, I'd like to see that fight. Of course. They should have, it was a good possibility they may fight at lightweight. That didn't happen. Both of them was undisputed at the lightweight. So they want to come up here to 140 and fight. That fight is a perfect time. That's if, they want to take another tough fight. That would be a good fight. That would be a good fight. While Ryan is suspended, that would be a good fight. Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. For all the Devin Haney big channels over there, why don't y'all start hyping that up? Or y'all on pacifier mode? Did Bill put y'all on pacifier mode? Are y'all not allowed to speak on possible future challengers? Are y'all on passy mode? Let me know when y'all off passy mode. You know what I'm saying? Bob only trying to make the fight if Devin drops the WBC belt. Go step aside may not be needed. Sander gets elevated to full champion. Well, you make a good point there, Blunts, but I would be remiss to say that Devin is going to allow Sander to be elevated. Even though we have a lot of elevations now, we are getting a lot of elevations. Ennis, You know what I'm saying? Barrios. We receiving a lot of elevations lately. A lot of elevations. Real talk. A lot of elevations. Um, to lead the sport for a year, I don't know if he's serious about that. If you're saying you're retiring too, that means that belt, you're coming off that belt too. So that'll open up the 140-pound division really nice, primarily for Teofimo Lopez. So if Sandor Martin is elevated to WBC, you have Subriel Matias out of the picture. You have Paro, which is just became in the limelight. He's standing, you know, under the spotlight right now. Then you have Isaac Cruz at the WBA and Teofimo Lopez. That's a good little group of guys to fight at 140. You know what I'm saying? I know you got some others up there. Richardson Hitchens, he's set. You have some other names up there. Gary Antoine Russell just lost. I mean, let's see how it plays out. Let's see if they try to make these fights for unification. Let's see. Bob will give Dev the title shot against T.O. But Dev seems like he's interested in dropping the title to go to 147 and fight Mario Barrios. But Devin don't need to fight Boots. Well, just like I told Crawford, his own division, which he's not going to get any credit for. Now, I'm not saying Devin is not going to get any credit if he was to go in there and beat T.O. All I'm saying is he's not going to, it doesn't seem like he's going to stay at 140 long enough to unify the whole division. And nor do I believe he's motivated to become two division undisputed. He is legit, straight, left to right, up and down. He has already became undisputed lightweight. It ain't no knocking that. That's done. I would say, still in your 20s, move up, 3-division champion, and it should bring him into some freaking fights. It should elevate his FICO a little bit more, if he goes up there and beat Barrios. I mean, that's not a gimme. Mario Barrios is not a slouch. That's not a gimme. But if he goes up there and fight and win, he picks up his 3rd division, and then that makes for a good fight coming back from Ryan Garcia. It'll be for another title fight, championship fight. And he's going to get paid well. You know what I'm saying? I don't see Devin fighting any heavy hitters up at 147, in the next year. I don't see that. But we have to see how that plays out. Shout out to the Wild Dog, Captain Chaos on deck, man. Tay Jones crying he wants his L reversed too. What L? What L? What L is that? So Devin's record he's undefeated. That loss has been removed. So that's cleared. Ryan Garcia has 1 loss. Devin has 0 losses. He's returned to an unblemished record. I don't know what L you're speaking on. Let me know what you're talking about. That Chaos. Shout out to Chaos with a $2 super chat, lighting up the tree of life. I appreciate you, big dog, for supporting the channel always. One love, man. Appreciate you pulling up. Let me know what you're talking about. His L. I'm definitely not against Dev T.O. if Dev is willing to do that. Yeah. I don't think he's gonna stay at 140 to try to unify for undisputed. He's been undisputed already. You just got to have a certain type of drive to want to unify the 140 pounds. I don't think his drive is there, especially if he's having problems making weight. Haney has questions to answer about his punch resistance and ability to change plans in a fight. Good point. It seemed like he did not have a plan B or C. You know what I'm saying? Or a D to dodge those punches. So he's definitely have to come in there with a different mindset moving up in the division. It's not going to get any easier for Devin, but it's good that he can start fresh from a clean slate. And but I still recommend, that you try to build up a rivalry between you and Garcia. That's going to be your highest paycheck. It's not going to be Mario Barrio. So it's up to them, bro. It's up to them. But good point. My thing is, Dev is a free agent. Why not Sander for 1.5? Drop the belt, fight Tio for the WBO and more. He's not going to get that much money with Tio. I mean, he's not going to get that much higher than the 1.5, man. I don't think that we're talking about 8 figures, bro. I don't think we're talking about 8 figures for him to fight Tio. I don't see it. I just don't see it. To be honest with you, I don't see it. I understand where you at with it, but that's asking for you to have 2 more fights at 140 pounds, which, what is the total benefit outside of a check? I can see if it was Ryan Garcia, because he's going to be in the 8 figures easy. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if he's going to be motivated to face Sander Martin and Teofimo Lopez, even though, for 1.5, you got to have some motivation there. As far as legacy, that has nothing to do with his legacy unless he goes over there and beat Tio and become a 2-time champion. You know what I'm saying, at 140. I don't know. Overall, Devin should wait to see how Teofimo looks against Steve Claggett before he makes his decision. True. I don't think I need to see how he's going to look against Claggett. I think he's going to look pretty damn good against Claggett. If that's how his name, Claggett or Claggett. He's going to look pretty good. Shout out to Entertainment. Make a good point. He said, yes, the 12-month ban, the time fighters take between fights, especially this era. Yeah. They take that much time in between fights anyway. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Shout out to Bram in the building. What up with you, Bram? Salute to you, bro. They both look bad after it all said and done. Hey, but one of them that looked bad had his hand raised and good, and then looked bad again when these test results came back, and looked even worse when they rendered this damn 1-year suspension. But suspensions in boxing is not like, you holding the position as the dean of, in college, or you holding a position in a corporate workplace. Boxing ain't like that. Like you in the military and you get relieved of your duties or something, or you get NJP'd or court-martialed under the UCMJ. It's not the same. Like you get suspended in boxing, it doesn't do anything too much, bro. It's like people know you suspended and you had to pay a fine or whatever the case may be, but what else is there to it? When you come back from the sport, someone asks you, I don't think it's going to change. One thing I say about Ryan, I don't think it's going to change the way he act. He's acting like he's going to remain defiant and expose the sport. He must feel that he has the pull to do that. I don't know. Usually they put a sign out when we're going to high elevation. Shout out to Seawood in the building. Justice served portionally. People keep saying that, like I said, he had a year suspension, but people keep acting like it's a whole lot more coming down. I don't care about the money. Ryan get forfeiture of more pay. I don't care about none of that. That's his money. He got to pay the fine. They always said do the crime, pay the fine. You know what I'm saying? He did the crime. He got to pay the fine. But as far as all this suspension, it's going to be more than all this and shit like that. Man, come on, bro. Come on, it was Ostarine at the end of the day. It wasn't fentanyl. Dev is currently a defeated, undefeated fighter. Damn, dog. That's the first time I heard that one. He said Dev is currently a defeated, undefeated fighter. How does it stop? Who has the medicine? Where's the doctor for a prescription, dog? These damn listeners out here, man, they're savages, bro. They need some downers. He's a defeated, undefeated. How can you have an ambiguous comment? Oh man. Hey, Devin, you reading that? That's in my chat. I didn't say it, Shouty. You know what I'm saying? But you need to understand what he mean now. You got to erase that. You got to come back for the rematch, man. Ron's mouth trolling and disrespecting the process cost him, and he's lucky his lawyers were able to get him 1 year because he was about to get 2 years. No, I don't believe he was getting 2 years, bro. I don't believe that at all, bro. 2 years for Ostarine, come on, bro. Just like you said, what I do take is possibly they was looking at it like, yeah, he was acting like he didn't care. He was very arrogant about the situation, nonchalant. But when it comes to boxing, you got to understand these guys, they're not walking around here like they're on a honor system or they on a pay scale where if they get in trouble, they get docked and pay. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about per hour or something like that. This is not that type of freaking payout. This is not people who's working on a corporate level. It's not, bro. It's not like that. For them to give him 2 years for what? Ostarine? Or are you trying to give him 2 years because he was talking shit? Talking shit, doing the process while you're being investigated. In this case, it's not a crime, is it? That shit's not a crime, I don't think. And then if you're mad that he was boasting about coming in overweight, is that a crime? Was that illegal? If he paid the money, the penalty, it wasn't illegal. Devin fighting T.O. makes Dev at least 3 times the pay and still able to have a belt with a much more notable opponent that would change the current narratives towards Haney. Well said. Well said. Well said. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. And they have a little history behind them too, but it died out. It died out when T.O. left and went to 140, and it allowed Dev to go over there and win the Aussie double, and then defend against Lomachenko. So he excelled. That was a high point for Dev. High point. Then he comes over here and had one good fight with Regis, which was a one-sided, one-sided beating. It seemed like it was a mismatch, but yet he did what he's supposed to do again. Then he get in here with Ryan, and he looked the worst he ever looked in his boxing career. So what better way to erase all of that is to have a fight with Teofimo Lopez. But on the other hand, have a fight with Ryan Garcia. He has a fork in the road, but really his backstory that's fresh in people's mind right now is Ryan Garcia. But while Ryan is suspended now, absolutely T.O. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because they should have fought, and people wanted them to fight at lightweight division. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see how that plays out because, hey, shout out to the OG Mr. Golden, man. Salute to you. I'll see you in the building. But we're going to see how that plays out with what he selects to do. Because I would want to see T.O. and Devin, no doubt about it. But is he willing to take another tough fight like that? behind what he experienced with Ryan Garcia? It all depends, man. It all depends. I mean, because that's a fighter where Bill Haney, they had they back and forth with Lopez Senior, and I'm just tired. Like, you got through all that at the lightweight division. I don't feel like going through the shit now at 140. I mean, the older y'all getting, the more mature you should have. I don't have time for everything to come to the surface about what y'all was talking about at 135 and what T.O. didn't do and he ducked. I don't want to hear none of that. You gonna fight the dude or not? Same goes for T.O. Is T.O. gonna fight Devin, and he just gonna talk about it? Is Devin gonna fight T.O., or they don't want that right now? Like I said, if it was up to me to suggest what I think, okay, well, Barrios does have a belt and it's a third division for Devin, but also T.O. is a fight that people gravitate to. Also, T.O. is a much bigger name in my opinion than Mario Barrios, but like Brim said, the money is definitely going to be higher than what Dev was set to make against Sandor Martin. So you gotta figure out what you want to do. Do you want to see Sandor Martin, be elevated? Just come off the belt, drop the belt, and be elevated and go in there and face T.O. for his strap? I mean, it's a process because, he already, from my understanding, reached out to Mauricio Suleiman about Barrios being elevated and possibly get that fight. Just like Crawford. Crawford elevated his WBO and he wanted to move up to 54, and now he got, he has the big fight coming up August 3rd for unification. It all depends on which route they choose to take. All I got to say is take the smart route. Whatever you believe is going to be beneficial as far as the money. If Devin takes a year off, I don't get it. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't get it. If he takes a year off and we don't hear anything that's appetizing, like when it comes to him selecting opponents or what's next, I don't know, man. It defeats the purpose, in my opinion, to take a year off the sport when it's a fight that you can have before Ryan Garcia comes off. If they believe they can get that belt off Barrios, get the belt off Barrios, and you and freaking Ryan fight at 147 in a rematch. Somewhat remnants about that we wanted to see with Crawford and Spence. From 47 to 54, from 40 to 47. I mean, let's do that. Let's do that. If both of y'all return to the sport off a year layoff, it won't be no excuses. Both of y'all been out the sport for a year, and y'all come back. But I'll take that back. I'm getting ahead of myself. If Devin is going to fight Barrios, he's going to fight within the 12-month period. That's the fact. So Ryan is the one that's going to be inactive coming off a year if he chooses. And that may be a good point for Team Haney to fight Ryan Garcia coming off inactivity. That might be a good point for them to do. And, if that's the fight they want at 147, which, people will refresh their memories real quick. If they start talking about Ryan Garcia coming back to face Haney at 147, they're gonna say, yeah, we good with that. Let's go. And it'll be good for Haney too, being he fought Garcia as a WBC champion at 40, and now he'll fight him as a WBC champion. That's if he get past Mario Barrios. That's not an easy task. Barrio has some pop in there, but it's all about his mojo back and able to use his footwork. I don't know, man. I'm not coming up with no freaking boxing plans or no freaking strategy. Fuck all that. I don't even know if these fights gonna happen. Real talk. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if that's gonna happen at all. Through all of this, once again, Ennis. No one's talking about Jaron Ennis and freaking David Avanesian. You know what I'm saying? That's just bad. You know what I'm saying? That's just bad. No one's really talking about that. I mean, it is a fight that's coming up. next month, real soon. And another situation has clouded any interest from the fans to talk about Avanesia and Ennis. Ennis is going to have to do something if he ever want those big paydays. If Ennis is content with just not saying too much of anything and just letting the fight be the fight, well, how did he ever dream of headlining a pay-per-view and come back with crazy numbers? Because they're talking about the Haney and Garcia fight did like 200K or something or whatever case. Let me see. Was it Haney? Let me see. Whatever they was talking about, the recent fight that did 200K. I really don't care about those freaking numbers, but it's very difficult for. Oh, I think they saying Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin supposedly. Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin did 200K. And look, that goes to show you like it's a huge gap from when Tank did numbers with Ryan Garcia and from Tank doing numbers with Frank Martin. There's no knock on Tank. Tank is still a headliner. He's a showcaser. I think it's more so people not really giving a damn to see Frank Martin get knocked out. That's all. That's all that is. I don't think so. I mean, it'll be stupid and foolish of Devin to take 2 years off for no freaking reason. I don't care if he say he's had all the belts before. It's not about the belts because the belts don't continue to get you a residual stipend throughout the rest of your boxing career if you are not actively a professional fighter. It doesn't get you any like Ryan Garcia retiring. They doesn't say, okay, once you retire, the first 30 days, after the 30 days, you'll go up to this center right here and fill out your paperwork to start getting your retirement pension. That's not it. That's not the way it happens, bro. So, yes, Devin is right. He had all the belts before. So you still need to think about elevating your popularity with the fans to leverage when you go in there and negotiate with these fighters that you will be the one that's on the A side making, increasing that payout. You got to make some changes, man. Real talk. I don't like talking about the money, but if the fighter don't care, then why should I care? But sometimes as media, it's good for you to just put it out there. Like you still have some work to do when it comes to your brand. That's all I'm saying. You have some work to do. You know what I'm saying? You have some work to do. Don't take 2 years off and have people up here, just not giving a damn about what you got going on. You're on the brighter side of this whole situation. You're about to get paid some extra money, and also, you're back to having an undefeated record. That looks good with any fight you're going into. But still, your brand, though, if you go into negotiation with Tio, it's going to be the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going to have to figure it out. It's going to be like, okay, you don't sell. You ain't did this. You ain't that. You got to continue to build and build and build and stack that, that branding up so you can elevate the numbers because you're still in your 20s. By the time you get in your 30s, good. You should be headlining pay-per-views and you should have changed, people's perspective on you being a boring fighter. And plus, you have to go in there and erase being stopped the way you have by Ryan Garcia. You got to go in there and erase it because I guarantee you when Ryan come off suspension, he's still going to talk shit about it like it just happened yesterday. I'm just saying. Ryan said he finna retire for 1 year. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to run it back or not. That's the biggest question of the mark, isn't it? That's the biggest question of the mark. Are they going to run it back? Who knows? But I'll tell you this, if they were smart, while this suspension is going on, it would be a good time for them to strike up conversation and say, we definitely running it back when we get back. We definitely running it back. This would be the perfect time to get people tuned in with anticipation, you know what I'm saying, waiting for these damn months to tick away, for the official fight news to break, that hey, we running this back and it's gonna be in Vegas. where it should have been the first time. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna run it back. It's gonna be in Vegas, and then they can start talking the shit. Ryan talk his, Devin talk his. I think that'll be a good way to go. Seriously, talk your shit while you suspended. Get people, get people actively engaged so they won't forget about what's going on. Devin talk his shit. The Ryan call him a damn drug cheat and all this other shit. Just get up under his skin, and then Ryan, of course, is gonna say what he got to say. It'll be a good way to keep the shit going during your suspension, and hopefully you all want to fight each other. But in this era, you can talk about something for months and months and months, and then the shit don't happen. People are like, oh shit, it's not happening, y'all. They was just talking. Man, no, fuck that. Can the rematch happen in the box since Ryan got suspended in the U.S.? Listen, good question. Very good question. But check this out. Ryan is signed with Golden Boy, I believe. Now, if both of them was free agents, don't quote me on this. If both of them was free agents, I don't know. I'm gonna stand on it. I'm gonna stand on. I don't know. A part of me say if they was both free agents, I know Ryan is the Golden Boy. They should be able to go wherever they want to fight. But it's just like a Russian fighter, Filipino fighter, whatever the case may be. They get suspended over here in boxing. Can they go somewhere else over in Mexico and fight? I don't think so. I don't think so. You know why? I don't think that shit can happen? Because of their license. When you suspend it, you don't have a professional license. And then in order for that shit to go on boxing, no. I'm going to go on the and say, no, they can't do that. Because just think about being suspended over here. You during that time, let's just say, you say, okay, I ain't coming back to 2 years. I ain't going to be subject to no testing and nothing. You go over there like Carlos Ocampo. Check it out. When Carlos lost to freaking Errol Spence, he went over to Mexico and ran up his record like 8 to 10 fights or something like that. Look, Carlos Ocampo came back from running his damn record up over in Mexico, and he ended up getting a fight with motherfucking Sebastian Fundora, man. You know what I'm saying? He ended up getting a fight with Sebastian Fundora, and then he went in there and faced the I forgot who he faced after that. Took a L. But yeah, I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can have your license suspended over here and you go into another country and run your record up. It still falls under your professional license over here in the US. I think if that was the case, which is a good question, I think if that was the case, a lot of boxers would do that just to maintain a paycheck. They would go across the pond. They would go over there to Mexico. I think that boxing license over here, you have to be active because you're a citizen of the U.S. I think that's what I'm saying. You're a citizen of the U.S. That's what I'm thinking. To answer your question, I don't know. Ryan got suspended in the U.S. He can fight in other countries since the U.S. doesn't have jurisdiction in other countries. No, I don't think they work like that. I don't think they work like that. I don't know. You might be saying something. Let me look it up right quick. Let me see what they're saying up here. Hmm. Good question. Anybody in the chat, if you know this, answer, please drop your comments. Let me see. Is it illegal for a professional boxer? No, that's not it. What does this say right here? It just shows suspended by understand he probably not to fight. To that, this is that's a good question. I don't know. Hey, if it's not true, I'm not here to debate about something that I haven't did my research on. You know what I'm saying? So if that is indeed the case, I seriously doubt that they can be signed with a promotion over here. He's signing with another promotion over here, Golden Boy, and then he can go over there and Riyadh and box anyway when he's suspended in the U.S. I don't think so. But you know what? I'm about to get the answer. I'm about to hold on for a second. I'm about to get y'all the answer right here. All right, here. I'm about to get it from somebody right. Hold on for a second. Still here. Hold on for a second. I'm about to get you this answer. I'm making this phone call right now. I'm still here, y'all. I'm talking. I'm trying to get this answer because I want to. It's a good question there, Middle. I'm trying to find out. That's a good question. That's interesting. But it has to do. You're gonna have to do with the sanctioning body. It's gonna have to deal with something. You know what I'm saying? Like I know everybody have their different licenses and shit like that. So that's a good question. I definitely want to know, can it happen? You don't see too many fighters going out of the country when they suspended to fight and run up their record. But I wonder, can it be done? Ryan got suspended in the U.S. He can fight any other country since U.S. doesn't have jurisdiction of the country or money. Not true. Yes, they can fight Marguerite and others did. Example, Marguerite fought in Mexico while suspended. So yes, he can. Okay, for sure, for sure. Okay. I mean, that's knowledge. Yeah, look, hey, I'm not debating with you. If you got the evidence and you got the criteria, cool. I'm all about EDU, man. You know what I'm saying? Education unlimited. I'm all about EDU. The thi-
and pay a penalty if they find him get back on suspension. But as long as he's not in litigation, he can't legally fight nowhere because New York is over him right now.
so New York, you saying is over him all the way to
All the way.
to him trying to get a fight over with Turk Al Sheik. Turk Al
Yes, he
Sheik
cannot fight.
Turk Al
Cannot
Sheik don't
fight.
have anything to do with New York. So explain that.
He don't because he's not licensed in New York. When Ryan Garcia licensed with New York, that gave New York jurisdiction to him. So the penalty is coming from New York, it's not coming from California.
Correct.
Only thing New York can do is suspend him. He cannot earn any wages or fight anywhere until New York is satisfied with their punishment.
You mean
That's how it's set up.
I'm speaking more so outside the region of the U.S., outside
He
the
cannot
country.
fight outside the region because he's a United States citizen.
Okay.
If he wasn't a U.S. citizen, that don't pertain to him. But he is a United States citizen. That's why New York can trump him because he has citizenship in the United States of America. So he can't make a move. Only move he can make if he go into litigation with a lawyer in a trial board to appeal. If he can fight, if his suspension go on appeal, he can fight. because it's
Yeah,
litigated. It's fiction.
Just like
Yeah,
Tyson
he can
Fury
fight.
did.
Yeah, he can fight until they punish him. But if he don't appeal that act, can't fight until until he put it in federal court. He cannot fight until he suspension of. But until they go to court, only thing that's saving him right now is he really can appeal that. But if it ain't up on the appeal, he's still suspended by New York, so he can't fight nowhere.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, I sign off on it. Because if he puts it in federal court, he jumped from the New York State governor that's on charge to the president. That's how they go.
I
Then
got
he
you.
has to go before Congress to get that suspension lifted, or he can go to federal court and appeal it. As long as he's on appeal, he can fight any way he want to fight. But until he put it in adjudication, he cannot fight nowhere.
Okay.
Okay, that's what's up. So did y'all hear that? You know what I'm saying? Um, he, if he was in just like Tyson Fury, remember Tyson Fury was under appeal for his suspension, and he was able to fight Vladimir Klitschko. You know what I'm saying? But since they're U.S. citizens and they're suspended over here in the U.S., they can't go outside the country, and especially if they're signed to a promoter. Yeah, there's going to be some conflict of interest. I don't know the whole legality part of it. I'm not a manager, trainer. I'm not any attorney for the fighters or any of that. But yeah, I was speaking to the OG. You heard what he said. You know what I'm saying? He have to go before the Congress and everybody else to try to, you know what I'm saying, put this. If he's appealing it, yeah, he'd be able to fight in the U.S. if he was appealing it. If he was in some type of litigation, he'd be able to fight until they render the punishment. From what I understand, most boxers don't fight outside the U.S. since the money ain't as good. But Turk has changed the money game. I still find it. I don't think Turk Al-Sheikh would be able to step on some shoes when it comes to. Step on some feet. If it comes to Ryan Garcia being signed to Golden Boy promotion. Now we understand that it is paperwork, and it's always, well, there's a will, there's a way in boxing. There's always paperwork. There's always loopholes, alternate avenues. You know what I'm saying? Legal little alleys they can take. I to be honest, that's outside my scope of understanding. But based off what the OG is, somebody who I know for a while has been in boxing for a long time, and he works with a promotion. You know what I'm saying? He said you can't fight outside. You can't just go to another country and fight. And you think it's gonna go in your box rec and all that. It's a lot he was saying before I even put the mic on. You know what I'm saying? Roy talks faster than that. You know what I'm saying, Blunts? If the fight is big enough and big money, I'm sure they will find a loophole, but it's not a good look. That's why other countries usually won't let it slide. Yeah. It was a good technical question. It was a good technical question. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not frowning upon it because I didn't have the criteria, the answers for it. But it was a good technical question on if boxing would have that. Fighters wouldn't be worrying about getting suspended. But also on the other side of things, when it comes to the money, yeah, of course you go to other countries, depending on who you are though. Some countries pay. Some countries pay, but they ain't paying like Turk Al-Sheikh, and they're not paying like sometime over here in the U.S. It just ain't paying. And then you have to look at the other outer regions on how large of their boxing fans, their audience over there. Their pay-per-view scale is now. Where's the money coming from? Is it coming from investors? Yeah, you're not getting the Floyd Mayweather money. He going in there facing Tenshin Nashikawa, a fighter that's much smaller than him in some whatever match that they had, and getting paid $10 million for that shit. No, I mean, if a regular fighter could go there and get Floyd money, cool. I'm saying, man, that's good. If you could be suspended and and go over there. But I know Floyd's retired, but if you could be suspended and then go in another country and fight until your suspension is up, I mean, your paychecks is going to be probably like $16 here, $130 here. You know what I'm saying? $410 here. You know what I'm saying? 1383 here. You know what I'm saying? 2100 there. I don't think you're gonna be. You got to pay for travel. It's just wild. It's a wild question, bro. But a good question though. Seriously, it's a wild question. You know what I'm saying? Because it would be great if they could go to another country and fight while they suspended. If fighters wouldn't be worried about not getting a paycheck, they just go over there. But Turk Al-Sheikh just coming into the picture and making his footprint known. So they have the money. And if like I said, if he's able to change up the sport for the better good, I'm all for it. I do not have no loyalty to boxing because it's no way that you can have loyalty to something that doesn't exist as a single entity. Boxing doesn't exist as an entity. It's just a part of a system. Like I always say, it's part of a system. Who are you having loyalty when it comes to boxing? Who are you having loyalty? The country? The country is for which we have seen the cutthroat and the backstabbing. So if he's going to come in and structure it like the UFC, isn't that a plus? Legally speaking, U.S. only has jurisdiction within the U.S., but U.S. got no jurisdiction in other countries. But it's just not a good look, and other countries won't usually let them fight. Okay. I mean, because some of them fighters got to come over here to the U.S. And plus, where's BoxRec at? BoxRec is in what country? It's over here, right? I mean, they have fighters who went over to Mexico and they didn't even put the freaking win on the record. I know that for a fact. It's some fighters that fall in Mexico and the win didn't even get put on their BoxRec. You have to look at it that way too. But respect to Mill for that question, because when you have to go out here and what's the word I'm looking for? You have to go on a treasure hunt for an answer. I mean, to me, that's kind of productive when it pertains to boxing. And it wasn't like it was so far off the charts or being relevant. You have to ask yourself, okay, if a fighter is suspended for a certain period of time and their record is what it is, and they go over here to another country and just camp out over there and be beating up whoever and however and run their BoxRec up. Like I said, Carlos Ocampo is one of those fighters of recent who did that, but he was coming off a loss to Errol Spence. He wasn't suspended. He was just coming off a first round knockout. But good question, bro. Good question. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? It kind of made me break what I was doing and try to find out some shit I didn't know. So shout out to you, man. Look, the one thing about me, I ain't trying to act like I know everything. But if somebody come out with something that has you curious about, okay, can that actually happen? Is it possible? You know what I'm saying? What is the process? How does that all work? I'm thinking of the U.S., one of the largest boxing footprints in the game. I know damn well fighters not going to be able to have it so easily to get suspended over here and then go over there to another country and run their record up 10 fights. It ain't fucking happening. Now, you know what I'm saying? If you were suspended, you can't do that. But then, you'll have people say, well, it's only in a different region. That was in New York. That was New York. That wasn't Cali. That wasn't South Carolina. That wasn't this. That wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll start going from region to region. Good question, though, man. Turk won't let a suspended boxing like Ryan fight. It's a bad look on his part. It's stepping on people's toes. So, yes, they can fight, but it's just a good, it's not a good look, if you know what I mean. It's definitely going to not be a good look, but, for Turk Al-Sheikh, they got that unlimited money. And I don't know, man. I don't know if they give a damn about looks. I don't think they give a damn about looks, because at the end of the day, it's not like Turkey Al-Sheikh has a stable of fighters and he's a promoter. He's not a promoter. So it's not like he's a promoter coming over here for the first time in August with a stable of fighters and he want to have a freaking U.S. versus Saudi freaking tournament. No, it's supposed to be, the shit they're talking about is U.S. versus Mexico. That's what they talking about. They don't have shit to do with Turkey Al-Sheikh, except the freaking money. So I get what you're saying, but does it really matter to somebody who has that much freaking monetary power? I don't think so, bro. But I'm definitely gonna do more research in it and trying to see. I really, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure it's so much legal paperwork that has to be, signed off on for a fighter to go over there, being that he's signed to a U.S. promoter. And then I'd say, for instance, 2 free agents. You know what I'm saying? Those of you that's in the chat right now, if you decide to have this as one of, something you want to do, if you just totally bored, can 2 free agents, that fought each other, it's damn near impossible to even say some dumb shit like that, because a fighter has to sign with a promoter. Most of the time, a fighter signed 2 fights. For real, it's just the way it is. But if you sign with a promoter for that one fight, if you get lucky like that, and one of the fighters, pop dirty, but yet they're not locked in to no other fight after that one, so both of them become free agents again. Can they have a rematch outside of the country if they're not locked in to a promoter at this point in time? I mean, that's a wild question. I'm just gonna have that conversation offline, real talk. I'm very curious about that. How does that whole process work? But man, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game, man. Appreciate y'all always interacting with the topic. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? And Garcia, you served this 1 year. Devin, you go on vacation, man. Like I said, they need the rematch. We need the rematch as fans. You know what I'm saying? Salute to y'all, man. Continue to hold it down. I'm out.